Creative Brain Candy by creators for creators.
Why didn't you let her come? Do you blame her for what happened? Because she blames herself.
It was no one's fault.
You still love her, right?
Of course I do.
You should tell her.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Smoking and Drinking in Space. This is a sci-fi podcast from a couple guys who think they know sci-fi. This week, we review the film that's not a silent movie, but a movie about silence and the stupidity of children. Starring Emily Blunt, John Krasinski, and teen angst, it's 2018's A Quiet Place. But first, he's the old hermit who's had enough of his wife's lip to my dad who's trying and failing to get his dumb kids to be quiet. It's James. How are you doing, James?
Why can't everybody just shut the fuck up?
I know, right?
Jesus.
And he's the little boy who dreams of growing up to be an astronaut. It's Rob. How are you doing, Rob?
I'm doing pretty good, but I'm dead now.
Yes, you are.
All
right, James.
Wait, no, in like 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, I'll be dead.
God damn it.
All right, James. I know you've been gone from the show for a little while, but do you know what's happening around CBC lately, or are you just totally tuned out?
No, I know what's going on around CBC. I don't know what's going on around this shit show. Like, what did I miss the last couple of weeks I've been gone?
You've missed some shit fucking movies.
Well, then I really didn't miss anything, did I? If you go to creativebraincandy.com, you'll notice that we have, I think it's out now. When this releases, it will be a brand new podcast called The Video Game Lounge. They're three old men, not nearly as old as I am, but they're still old, that sit around and talk about the good old days. I can't talk either, Jason. It's contagious.
I know.
The good old days of gaming. They reminisce. They talk about video games and shit. They drink stuff while they're doing it. I mean, it's a fun time. Why wouldn't you go check it out? It's the Video Game Lounge. It's probably better than anything Rob's ever done.
Probably so. I would agree. Rob?
I'm dead now.
Okay. Well,
Thank God.
Do you have any news for us this week before you officially die?
Oh, yeah, I do. All right, so first little bit of news is one of the VFX supervisors from the Snyder director's cut, Snyder cut of Justice League, did an interview. John Dejarin. I don't know. He sounds foreign. Anyway, he did an interview.
Oh my God.
But you can't say that. Why am I back? Why did I agree to come back to this shit show?
I don't know. Anyway, so he did an interview, and apparently the scene at the end of the movie where Flash goes into the Speed Force, that got cut from the original movie, obviously, because it wasn't.
I know,
in the
we
original,
didn't see
or
it.
It wasn't in the first version.
Yeah.
It got cut, and the reason why it got cut is because Warner Brothers didn't get the idea.
That's because Warner Brothers is dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, this news segment is just here to prove how stupid suits and ties are at Warner Brothers.
Is that it? That's why you did this news segment today, is to remind
Just
us
this one.
all that the executives at Warner Brothers are fucking idiots?
Yep. Well, you've been gone for a couple of weeks. I figured you'd like
That's
the
not
refresher.
something I'm going to forget. It's like forgetting you're a pain in my ass. It's just not something I'm going to forget. I dreaded coming back. I didn't want to. I knew you'd talk. I knew you'd give us podcast soil. And then to top it all off, Rob, you remind me that Warner Brothers is full of fucking idiots that couldn't fucking executive their way out of a fucking wet paper bag. Like, they make the most terrible decisions on the planet next to the most terrible decision that I make, which is to podcast with you.
And yet you still keep coming back.
And they still keep making shit movies. When they stop making shit movies, Rob, I'll stop podcasting with you.
Perfect.
What else you got,
We're
Rob?
going to be here forever. I'm going to make James a little more happy. So
Christina
it was
Hendricks?
just almost
Oh.
close. Your next favorite thing.
Gal Gadot?
So, okay, third, maybe 50th. I don't know. You can tell me later.
Okay.
Back in 2019, the USS Omaha was just minding its own damn business off the coast of San Diego, and 14 UFOs flew past them.
Oh my God.
So some aliens decided to buzz the USS Omaha.
I don't know why you mocked this, Jason. I don't know why. You're going to be the first to die when our alien overlords finally come to take over.
Probably.
Yeah. One of them was tracking in at about 160 miles per hour. So
fast.
It was going so quick. And this
the speed of a
this
Cessna.
will get this thing will get.
I think they'd be able to figure out if it was a fucking Cessna.
Yeah.
Don't you think if it was like something like, oh shit, there's 14 Cessnas swarming us. Oh no. I don't think they'd freak out about that. That wouldn't be news other than 14 idiots decided to do this. Yeah.
Swarm in a battleship or a destroyer. Yeah. So this has been released and all that kind of good stuff. And it's got the naval security concerned for some strange reason. Because if they were just Cessnas, why would they be concerned?
They wouldn't be concerned if it was Cessnas. That's my point.
Exactly.
They don't know what it is.
I think the point of their concern is they're not exactly sure
aliens.
what it was. It's aliens. Yeah. Their concern is aliens. You're right.
Well, I'm not saying that it's aliens, Jason.
But it's aliens.
It's aliens.
Yep.
You two are so dumb. What else you got?
The next thing I've got is
wait. Before you move on.
Okay.
Before you move on, I just remember this conversation. So I've been gone for a couple of weeks, and one of those weeks I was gone. I was in Charlotte with a friend of mine named Randy. And he and I were talking about this very thing, Jason, this alien stuff, and is it real, and what is it, what the fuck is it? What if it's probes? What if they're just probes? What if they're unmanned drones that are checking out the planet?
Oh, looking for the best place to put down roots?
Maybe. Or maybe they're just looking for
best
Jason.
Tex-Mex restaurant? I don't know.
The best.
They need to get out of California.
Best people to probe anally? Rob?
I wear a
what if that's
tinfoil
the
hat
case?
when I go outside, so they
probing
can't,
Rob
they can't.
anally is like throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
It's just been done so many times. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, what if that's the case? Is that more believable for you that possibly they're just probes? It's not really aliens, like first person, more like they just sent unmanned shit to come check us out.
I mean, we are probing the universe.
Yeah. So why wouldn't anybody else if they're out there?
Don't know.
Is that more plausible to you than actual flying saucers manned by aliens?
I think domestic-based probes are probably more probable than alien-based probes. I'm not saying it's not alien-based probes. I don't know. Nobody knows. That's why they're unidentified.
Oh, somebody
But
knows.
I think the probability of it being an alien probe is pretty remote.
Bob Lazar knows.
Oh, God. Move on,
And
Rob.
I'm
What's
out.
next?
Yeah. So the NASA's Mars helicopter that they got out there, it had a bit of a brain fart last week.
Did it?
It did. It did.
Or was it hacked by aliens?
Maybe. So the helicopter there, to figure out where it's at, because GPS doesn't exist around Mars yet. It uses some navigation gyroscopes. There it is. Wow.
Good God, Rob.
Yeah. Wow.
Words are hard.
Yeah. So it uses that to keep it to try to keep itself, level, and
Oriented?
then it also has oriented, and it's got a inertial measurement unit in it that does all the tracking of the rotors, the rotor blades, and how they spin or how fast they're spinning, and how they need to make direction changes. And then it's got a Polaroid camera on its underbelly. It's probably not Polaroid, but it takes black and white photos every, 30 photos to be exact every second. So it's taking a lot of photos. So between all of that, it figures out where it's at, where it's going, and all that kind of fun stuff. Well, a couple of those photos didn't have their timestamp on it. And so the helicopter proceeded to freak the fuck out.
Okay, what do you
But
mean
it's
by
fine.
freak out? Because typically when something like that happens, they've got protocols in place where the helicopter just stops and goes into emergency mode and then lands and resets.
Yeah, basically. So
So it didn't
that's what
freak out.
happened.
It just went
No. So it didn't do
Jesus.
that first. At first, it started pitching and yawing and trying to roll and trying to.
So what you're saying is the aliens were trying to figure out how far our technology has progressed by seeing
Right.
what aerial movements this helicopter could do.
Right. It was just trying to figure out where the boundaries were, and
Right.
then try to push it just a little bit more. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it freaked out and enacted its emergency protocol, which basically says, all right, ignore all the pictures and land. And so at that point in time, the data from the IMU, the inertial measurement unit, took over and just said, all right, let's sit down. And so it sat down.
Is it still sitting down, or did the aliens pick it up to look at
They
it?
picked it up, dusted it
All right,
off,
yeah.
and
then
gave it back to the.
promptly proceeded to get it stuck in a tree.
Yep.
Or they're going to put it up somebody's ass? Rob.
I'm not on Mars, so probably not.
Well, not yet.
Not yet. That's all I got.
That's all you got? Who's ready for a pod crawl?
Oh, please, sweet
Please.
Jesus, yes.
Let's do this.
We can call it, I don't know, say a pod crawl? The pod crawl! Pod crawl! Pod crawl! Pod crawl! Excellent! Insert it deep! Pod crawl! Kind of like a space suppository full of information.
The Abbotts are picking through the remains of their local grocery store like they are LARPing a Fallout game. None of them have shoes, so they aren't playing the game right, as everyone knows you roll the corpses and literally swipe the boots off a dead man's feet. They gather various supplies, food, bandages, noisy fucking shuttles that will get you killed soon, antibiotics for your feverish son that you dragged along so he could sit like a lump on the floor, and Vicodin, because you live in a post-apocalyptic Hell's Cape where you are hunted by the illegitimate offspring of Daredevil and the alien queen. Daddy Abbott says no to the death shuttle and wisely removes the batteries, but daughter Abbott, who knows best because she's a teenager who gives not two fucks, hands the toy back to Hot Pocket Abbott, who then also proceeds to grab the batteries and hurry to catch up to the others. On the way back, walking the magical white sand trail barefoot like they are pining for a sandals retreat, Pizza Roll Abbott wants to play astronaut, so he puts the batteries in his new toy that his loving sister gave him and launches off into space, which also acts as the ding on a microwave, letting all the local murder fauna know that their snack is ready. Cut to a year later, and the family is gestating another bite-sized treat to appease their new alien overlords. It's family game night, and they decide to play Monopoly, Mistake number 1, with a kerosene lantern right next to them. Mistake number 2. After putting out the fire his kids tried to burn the house down with, Daddy Abbott heads downstairs for a little me time with his ham radio and electronics. His basement is lit up like NORAD, but I guess he's not smart enough to figure out how the upstairs light switches work, so they use candles and lanterns instead. Anyway, he's playing around with some hearing aids for his daughter, and marking down frequencies with no traffic, which is pretty much all of them. Then later he heads out to sit on his grain silo, and light a fire, and have a beer with all the other dads in the neighborhood on their grain silos lighting fires. The next day, it's time to make his oldest and alivest son a man, so he forces him to go down to the river with him to fish. Daughter Abbott wanted to go, but Daddy Abbott tells her that's silly, she has no business going down to the river, and becoming a man, besides, she would probably just hand a fish a space shuttle, and get it killed.
Yep.
Daughter Abbott stomps off in a teen fit to where Snackable Abbott's memorial was erected, and offers up a silent shuttle as a mocking fuck you to her bite-sized brother. Meanwhile, Mama Abbott is doing laundry, and snags a nail on the basement stairs straightening it out, so she can step on it in the future a la Home Alone. Daddy and Daddy Jr. Abbott scream a little at a waterfall, and then on the way home come across an old man with a death wish who murdered his wife. The old man yells, Daddy Abbott grabs heir apparent Abbott, and runs as a murder beast chews on the old man. Back at the farm, Mama Abbott heads back downstairs with a picture, and sure enough steps on the nail. While trying to stifle her stupidity-induced scream, she drops the picture, and it makes just enough sound somehow to attract her own murder beast. She hides in the basement as it looks for her, and then decides to go into labor. She does manage to change the Christmas lights outside from white to red to let everyone know she's about to feed Fat Bastard her baby. Daddy Abbott sees the lights and tells expendable son Abbott to set off the emergency freedom sparklers to distract the murder beasts. Mama Abbott tricks her murder beast into thinking its snack is ready with an egg timer, and heads upstairs into the tub to have baby Abbott. Daddy Abbott arrives just in time as the freedom sparklers explode and distract the murder beast, and he drags Mama and baby Abbott to the barn cellar he's soundproofed for just such an occasion. Daddy Abbott heads out to find the kids, which are now on top of the grain silo playing dad and lighting fires. They fall in and almost drown in corn, one of James' secret fantasies, but make their way out thanks to a murder beast creating a big hole in the side. They run into Daddy Abbott, who gets ambushed by a murder beast while making no noise but doesn't call foul, and instead lies there bleeding out. The Abbott kids run to the noisiest object nearby, an old Ford F-150. The murder beast, who was opening grain silos like they were made of tin foil, can't seem to pierce the built Ford Tough's exterior sheet metal. Daddy Abbott, deciding he's had enough of pulling his kids' asses out of the fire, ends it all with one barbaric yop and gets eaten. The now elder male Abbott pulls the emergency brake on the truck, and it coasts down to the house, where they find Mama Abbott in the basement after the barn cellar flooded. They all huddle together and prepare to die when one of the murder beasts gets close to daughter Abbott and recoils at the intensity of her teen angst, or her cochlear implant, one of the two. Daughter Abbott uses the ham radio to amplify her angst, which makes the murder beast want to cry out to get murdered itself, and Mama Abbott humors it by putting a shotgun blast to its face. The Abbotts watch two more murder beasts close in on the house. Mama Abbott locks and loads, and roll. The moral of this story is teen angst is the most powerful force in the universe. Credits.
Was that the moral to this story?
That's the moral I got from the story, yeah.
I thought it was just kids are fucking dumb.
Well, that's the secondary moral.
Oh,
And that's not really a moral. That's
just
fact.
life. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. 2018's A Quiet Place. So I thought this was a really interesting concept for a movie. Some of the ways that they kind of implemented the movie, I have some quabbles with. But overall, I thought it was a decent movie. A little bit heavy on the jump scares that kind of downplayed the tension that they were trying to
tired of jump scares in movies.
Yeah, and I think I really think it kind of downplayed or underplayed the tension that they were trying to build in the movie, because instead of building that tension and then getting the release with some sort of action or event, you get this jump scare, and that it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel right, all the jump scares. Maybe two jump scares in the movie I could understand, especially in the beginning. But then this was supposed to be more of a thriller, more of a tension-based movie, and the jump scares just didn't fit.
Whatever. I hated this movie.
You hated? How did you hate this movie? This movie had some good merits.
Maybe hate's a bit strong. Maybe. I don't know. I did not care for this movie. And maybe it's because I saw the Bird Box first. I don't know.
I heard the
Same
Bird
shit,
Box wasn't
different
very
sense.
good, though.
And neither was this. Neither was this. At least with the Bird Box, I got to look at Sandy Bullock, and she's hot. She's national treasure. And it was really focused on her, and she was wearing a mask type deal where she couldn't see. You know.
So instead of
that's
the
my
aliens not being able to see, the people couldn't see?
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you saw the alien or something to that effect, they turned you crazy and you started killing people. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember. Dumb. I don't know. I just remember that the blind people, they had no issues. They could just walk around freely because they're fucking blind. I mean, I'm sure they tripped on shit, but they were just blind. Here, you're deaf. You have to be silent, right? And so if you're deaf, you're even more a disadvantage because you don't know if you're making a loud noise because you're fucking deaf. And if you're a kid, like you're just fucked because kids never shut the fuck up.
Oh, I know.
Like ever. Like when they showed she was pregnant, I'm like, well, that's just obvious. Like birth's going to be a shit. Like that's going to be a shit show. She's just going to be fucking screaming the whole time. Like,
hey, she did pretty good.
That's not realistic. That is just not realistic at all. Like no woman has ever given birth silently unless they were had a epidural.
I don't know. Even with epidurals, I think they kind of
did her own little
cry
epidural.
out because of the pressure. So
yeah, I don't think any woman is like, I couldn't do it. I'd cry like a bitch the whole fucking time. That's why God or the universe or whatever you think created people. We're like, we're going to let women give birth because men are pussies. They're just not going to. We're not going to be able to handle it.
Well, I thought it was a clever idea to soundproof the barn cellar for a birthing chamber. I thought that was a good idea.
Look, all right. So we're in podcasting, right?
Uh-huh.
That's what we do. Okay. We know that you can soundproof shit pretty well.
Right.
Right. And you can pretty much do it on the cheap during an apocalypse. It's all super cheap. It's all fucking free.
Right. You just have to drag the materials to your house.
Right.
Quietly.
I'm fairly confident they would have been able to do that 460 some days after the initial event.
Right.
Okay. But they didn't do that, did they? No, their house was not soundproof at all. Like, they have hardwood floors and shit. They've got nails that are fucking.
Yeah. About that nail. Who fucking drives a nail from the bottom of a step?
Apparently people who are, can't make a lot of noise. They're just dumb as shit.
I mean, how did that fucking nail get there in the first place? It came up from the bottom. I don't understand that at all. That was just a fucking plot device, and I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated this whole movie. The whole movie's just stupid.
I didn't think the whole movie was stupid. I thought it was actually really good in some places. I did have a problem with the concept of the aliens, though. I think it's clever to have an alien that, is blind and navigates by sound, but there's inherent problems with that. The way that they hunt through sound and the way that they move using sound.
How did they travel through space?
Well, and that's another thing. And
there's no sound in space. That's true.
Well, I mean, it depends on how they got here, and you find out actually in the second movie how they got here, which is.
Don't spoil it.
Which is another problem that I've got, but we'll discuss that next week whenever we cover a Quiet Place Part 2.
Yeah, I can't wait.
But first, there's a ton of ambient sound, especially in like a forested area.
Oh yeah,
and so, and these creatures didn't seem to have anything more than an animal instinct. I mean, they attacked pretty much anything that made a loud noise, right? I think they tried to communicate through the clicking language that you hear every once in a while in the movie. But it didn't seem like they really coordinated efforts. They were more like lone predators, and they basically relied on large sounds to hunt their prey. Now, which is silly. So what? Did their planet just fucking run out of food and they're like, well, time to build spaceships and go hunt? Well, that's my question is how did they build spaceships to travel through space? Because these creatures don't seem nearly intelligent enough to do that. No.
No.
So there's my first problem. Now you could say that this
maybe they were on an asteroid. Maybe they were like an egg in the asteroid, and as the asteroid came through the air, it heated them up and they birthed.
That's not bad, but let's think about this. What are they? They're basically hunter killers, right? That's what they are.
Right.
They're sentient. They're hunter killers. What if, Jason, the Earth is just the galaxy's fucking penal planet?
Well, see, I was thinking.
Well, that comes to my conjecture here is: are these some sort of biological weapon to eliminate humans on Earth for some sort of alien invasion?
I think honestly, this is the next thing that lab in Wuhan is going to release.
Right.
It's not
nice.
They didn't do it. So,
well, we know that they came from outer space from the newspaper clippings that they showed in the movie.
Well, sure they did. Of course they did. These are not Chinese aliens. That would be, you can't say that, Jason. These are just aliens. Okay. Look, Fauci worked in that lab, man. I didn't do nothing, but we should probably investigate it all the same. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Not saying these came from Wuhan. They just probably came from Wuhan.
God. So dumb.
I'm sold. Well, see, I was thinking it was possibly like you know, they were on another planet and the smart people there, or the smart aliens there, bottled them up and launched them into space and said, there, we got rid of them. Fuck it.
What if that alien species is just playing oh shit! I just had the word and I lost it. I feel a lot like Rob right now. They're doing like eugenics, right? Like, so, these were born without the ability to see. They're just going to be insane fucking hunter killers. Let's send them to Earth. Like, let's get them out of the population so they can't reproduce.
Oh my God.
They just go kill shit.
So they're ethnic cleansing.
Yeah. What if that's what they're doing?
Gotcha.
You don't know.
I don't. You're right. I don't know what the explanation, the plausible explanation for these aliens hitting Earth is. Yeah.
Like, my money's on Wuhan, but hey, it might be that third one. I don't know.
It might be. You're right. But now, I find the concept of the alien itself kind of far-fetched and doesn't really fit. I find the mechanism by which they hunt kind of suspect because sound only, especially in forests. I mean, there's so many ways that you could counteract that ability of theirs.
Right, like throwing sound at it constantly.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could create a
yeah.
white noise barrier around your house so that you're not having to be silent all the time.
Why didn't they just move to the river?
Or I thought that too, but that was going to be an easy answer. But here's the thing:
set up a cabin by the river, and that's where you live, and you go to your farm to pick your corn.
Why don't you just make a lot of noise
and go swimming in the corn,
and then blow it up?
Well, I think they were shielded or armored against explosions, so that they had some kind of.
They kept opening their mouths quite a bit.
Yeah, they did, and that's how they were able to finally kill them, was when they were opening their heads so that they could hear, or they were in pain, and so all their armor plating was opened up. That's how they were able to kill them. But I think
how much of this are you bringing from the other movie?
No, this is all in the first movie.
Yeah, if that's the case, Jason, like I look, I'm not proud of what I'm about to say. Let me just.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. What if you just put a lot of like babies or children in one spot and they're crying, and then they're like eating, and then you blow them up while they're eating, like when their mouths are open? Like, I'm not proud of this idea at all.
You strap a baby with some C4.
Yeah, like, I don't understand why we didn't think about this. Instead of letting the entire human race die, I mean, sometimes you gotta crack a few eggs to make an omelet. I'm just saying. Please don't cancel me.
Oh, James.
I'm just saying. That seems like in movie land, that's an easy solution to kill these fucking things before they wipe out the entire planet of people who can't figure out how to shut the fuck up for 5 minutes. Good God.
Yeah. I also blame the parents for little baby snack cake's death because
just take the batteries out and give him the fucking toy.
Well, yeah, they could have done that, or they could have, put daddy in the lead of the line and then put mama at the end of the line so that she could keep an eye on all the kids like normal fucking parents do.
No, that's too smart. That's along the lines of putting all the babies in a pile with C4.
When I go
smart, there wouldn't be a fucking movie if we did that, Jason.
When I go backpacking, you always put the slowest one in the back.
I think they're about the same idea, Jason. can't. Let's not bring logic into this argument, okay? The movie starts to fall apart pretty quick.
Yeah,
so
there were a lot of...
Where did they get all that sand? Where did they get all the sand?
I don't know. Maybe there's a hardware store somewhere in town that has a bunch of fucking sand.
Unlimited sand.
Well, it wasn't unlimited. They did find the end of the fucking sand trail, but I wasn't sure what the fucking sand was there for anyway.
To cushion their footsteps.
What?
Because
that's the
apparently
fucking dumbest shit ever.
Yeah, apparently they can't like walk quietly.
Yeah, I can walk pretty fucking quietly even in the woods.
Are you a ninja?
No, I'm not a ninja. I just don't go fucking stomping around in the goddamn woods.
So apparent. So
hey, wait.
So
it's
animals aren't.
It wasn't like it was a lot of sand, right? It's not like so when you run on the beach, like there's no noise, right? Because it's sand. There's a lot of sand. It's soft. It's not like there was a lot of sand they were walking on. It was like less than an inch of sand.
And that in the first good rainstorm, and that's gone.
That's all gone.
Yeah,
exactly.
Not only that, but I mean, the leaves would have fallen on top of the sand, so they would have had to brush the leaves off constantly anyway.
Oh, God, fall must have been a bitch.
Well, it was fall. I mean, there were leaves all over the fucking place.
I don't know. Was it fall?
It was getting close.
So
it had been over a year, so fall had happened at one point.
I don't know. Have you ever been in a forest in the summer? There's still a lot of fucking trees on the or leaves on the ground.
Yeah, I used to live in a forest.
Did you really?
What?
Were you a lost boy?
No, I mean the community that I lived in was in a forest.
Wait, a community
of gnomes? Were you a gnome?
Yeah, I was a gnome. I was the head gnome in the forest community that I lived in. Yeah.
In the forest. So either that or you
was it a commune?
you live
Were you
with
a fucking hippie?
That's what I was thinking.
What's your mom's name? Moonbeam?
He couldn't cut it because his bare feet wouldn't get callous enough.
Oh, that's right. You guys got jokes. That's funny.
So animals weren't immune to this. They were eating the animals and all that. Obviously, they ate the raccoons. You would have thought after this year, most of that would be dead.
Oh, right. Yeah. The raccoons. Yeah. No, again.
Wait, there's 7 billion people on the planet. Is that right? Am I right
like
there?
That. Yeah.
7 point some billion people on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are those 2018 numbers?
2018 numbers was it was 7 billion. I think it's like 7.7
right. Because COVID's happened. There's been
COVID, so you're at 7.6 billion.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 7 billion people. Oh, shut the fuck up. Good God. Why are you here? Pretend that if you talk, Rob, an alien's going to chop your fucking head off.
See, I'm the new baby.
Oh, God.
I don't know how to shut up.
I might just strap C4 to you on purpose.
Sweet. Only if you give me a toy rocket.
Done.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't even remember what I was. 7 billion people on the planet.
7 billion people.
How, after a year, there's 10? Is that what we're supposed to believe?
At least in that little area.
Yeah. Right. There's enough people not around anymore to still have a lot of shit on the shelves in a hardware store.
Yeah. After a year, I'm thinking that those would have been a little bit more bare than what they were.
Yeah.
Unless that whole group I guess 10 people. Yeah. They would have gone through it faster than that. Right. And on top of that, okay, so there's 10 people, right? And obviously they have figured out how to stay quiet. Wouldn't the creatures move on to more fertile grounds?
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't. They would have gone after the easy shit first. So people like Rob would be dead, babies would be dead, children would be dead. Then they'd go after the animals, and the smart people would be underground somewhere. Yeah, because you can make a shit ton of noise underground; they're not going to hear you.
Right. As long as it wasn't low frequency noise.
Right. Well, even then, it didn't look like they were diggers. They had like pincers and shit. Look like crab people.
Yeah, they looked very kind of praying mantis type. They had those kind of long, sharp looking limbs, and yeah, they didn't look like they could dig.
No,
I mean, there
like
seems like plenty of counters that you could do to kind of trap or maybe disable them, or just avoid their echolocation or however they track you in the first place. I mean, again, the white noise would help cancel out your small noises. He obviously had power because his fucking
Where did
basement
that come from?
He had solar panels on his roof.
I didn't see those.
Yeah, he had solar panels on his roof. I don't know why the rest of the house was like living in the 1800s, but
I don't know if you ever used solar power, Jason.
I have.
It doesn't last very long.
At his commune in the forest.
You don't do solar power in the forest. There's fucking trees in the way, you moron.
Water power.
That'd be high. Okay, you know what, Rob? Just stop.
All right. Sorry. I'm sorry, sir.
Thanks for these pictures of Emily Blunt, though.
I was busy.
She's hot.
Yeah.
Emily. Baby.
There it is. There it is.
Are you going to have to get past John Krasinski?
Whatever.
Man.
Whatever.
He's been doing something.
Are they
right.
married in real life?
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, they are.
They have 2 daughters.
They're married in real life, have 2
I
daughters.
take it back because I actually like John Krasinski. I think he'd be a dude I'd want to sit down, have a cigar with, drink a beer with. So no, I take it back. I don't want to.
It's
your
funny
wife,
that you say that because John has said that you are a dude that he doesn't want anything to do with.
Well, that's that's what most people say.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not surprising. A lot of people say that. Like, just welcome to the club. It's a large club. Like, okay.
It's a large club.
If he ever changes his mind, though, hey, I got a cigar with your name on it, buddy.
So I wanted to get your expert opinion, James. Was the grain silo drowning scene accurate?
Do you think I have a grain silo in my backyard?
Yes.
Doesn't everybody in Iowa?
No.
I mean, we all have horses here in Texas. How do you get around?
There's only 2 things in Texas, Rob. No, there's no
horses and horse manure.
No, it starts with steers.
Yeah.
Steers.
There's
and more steers.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Nailed it.
Perfect.
No, I think that's accurate. I've heard of people, not like locally or anytime lately, but yeah, there are people who've fallen into grain silos and have died that way. But it's more you just get crushed by it, right? Like,
yeah. So you fall into it and then you suffocate because your lungs because of the pressure.
Yeah, because of the pressure, you can't. Yeah.
You can't.
It's sad when it happens because it's typically kids because they can't figure out to just don't move until somebody comes. If I remember right, somebody was like, this may have been a while ago, and I don't know. I might be just talking out of my ass like Rob, but I might remember somebody falling in and then they just died because people couldn't find them. It's like after 3 days with no water, they just kind of, they're done. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a sad thing. I don't know why you would bring that up. I'm not the fucking expert. I don't got one in my backyard, but yeah.
It involves corn.
And you are the expert of all things corn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is your area of expertise.
Okay.
That's why I asked an expert.
No, I get the joke. It's just kind of lame.
Is it?
I don't know.
Thought it was
Next time I have a question about a hippie commune, I'll come to you. And the next time I have a question about, I don't know, anal probes, I'll go to Rob.
Well, yeah.
Perfect.
That's perfect.
I've got a whole top 10 list.
Top 10 best anal probes. Go.
Yeah. Could you run those down for us, Rob?
2007 was a good year.
Why did I come back?
2009 was a close second.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Wow.
So Rob had a lot of fun in the aughts.
I did. So where did all that water come from that went into the thing? Was there a water tower right next to him?
I don't know. It looked like a busted pipe.
Again, 400 some days after the apocalypse.
And
they
running
still have
water
running
is still
water.
living.
but
Well, they have electricity, so I'm sure they had a well.
So it was well. It was a well.
think it was
Well,
a
it looked
well
pretty
water?
it looked pretty rural, so I don't think they had like city water.
Okay. You ever drink well water?
Yes.
It's gross.
Yeah,
It depends on the well.
in his commune. They were next to a spring.
That's not a well.
That's not a well,
spring.
you dipshit. Jesus
damn.
fucking Christ. If you cannot fucking just, you know what, Rob? Shh. Just shh.
No, I refuse.
A well is different from the spring, Rob.
Yeah, I know.
Then why did you say it?
Because I wanted to.
Oh my God.
I don't
Because
think
spring
you know.
water is better. Spring water is tastier than well water, I think.
I mean, it's all underground water. It just depends on the source.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm done with this conversation.
Let's rank well
Honest
water.
with everybody. I don't. I'm sorry I brought up well water to begin with. At this point,
That was your
I
fault.
apologize to the listener. I really don't know. I don't know where to go from here.
Rob's going to make you pay for all your mistakes today.
No, he's not making me pay. He's making the listener pay. Again, I apologize to everyone listening. Is this what he was like while I was gone?
Yeah.
Or was it worse? Was it better?
It was.
Actually, I'd like to think that I was a little bit better while you were gone. I brought more to the table.
Is that true, Jason?
I'm going to let the listener decide.
It's a cop out. Also a no.
All right, final
Somebody-
thoughts.
Rob's an idiot. He would
I'm
not have
looking-
survived this at all.
I'm looking forward to next week.
I mean,
I'm
what
not.
would you do if you were in the Abbott's situation?
Move to the river.
James?
Yeah. Like, I don't know why you're not there already. Although it would just move out there in a tent. I mean, if you
Well, that's
can't
what I'm
build a
saying.
house, yeah,
You have
like,
a
camp out.
little area that's where you live. I mean, obviously he was yelling behind the waterfall, so it was okay. And then they were kind of talking off to the side of the waterfall. So I'm not saying, chop down some trees or something, but you could make yourself a decent lean-to or something like that to sleep under on a normal thing. And then
Like, hey, through lean to out there, Rob.
yeah, well, I was just, got to protect yourself from the rain.
I don't
But then you have your farm for the necessity. You go to your farm, you pick up your corn, so you can have, corn cakes and corn on the cob and
Cream corn.
sweet corn, cream corn, corn casserole, corn bread, corn
All right, Gump.
meal.
I don't know that
Corn
you
grits.
necessarily have to relocate to the river. I think there's
No,
things
you
that
need
you
to
can do to
relocate.
mitigate the sound impression that you have on your house. But the rules were so inconsistent in this movie anyway, because he got hit by that one alien who was sitting on top of that shed, and he wasn't making any noise. So how did the alien know he was there?
Yeah.
That's one of the quabbles that I have.
Well, he made ever so slightly of noise when he pulled the axe out of the bucket.
oh
Well,
no.
No, that's bullshit. I'll tell you
He
what
might-
they should have done.
Maybe the alien had his ear flaps open and
He
was
He should have.
tuning in.
They should have went and got a bunch of Ford F-150s and like circled the wagons. All right, because apparently they cannot rip.
Yeah,
through
those are
Ford
impervious
F-150s.
to
Yeah.
alien claws. Yeah.
Yeah,
They should
a
have made
grain
their
silo?
house out of Ford F-150s.
absolutely, 100%. I don't like. That's exactly what the sequel should be. It should be A Quiet Place 2, brought to you by Ford F-150.
No, that's Quiet Place 3, the return of the F-150.
If there's going to be A Quiet Place 3, I am going to sequester myself from that. It's
There
already bad
is.
enough. I have to watch the second one.
There is.
No,
have
they
to go
haven't.
to-
They haven't officially announced A Quiet Place 3.
I have to go to a theater to do it. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to next week, but I guess I'm back for a bit.
Quiet Place 3, built Ford tough.
Built Ford.
But no, I mean, he didn't have to
Is Mike Rowe in
sacrifice
it?
himself,
Is
right?
Mike Rowe going to be in A
Yeah,
Quiet
he
Place?
He
Yeah,
might.
he's
He
the
might,
narrator.
yeah. He didn't even necessarily have to sacrifice himself. He had that axe. He could have thrown that out in the
Thrown it,
cornfield,
yeah.
to distract the whatever it was, whatever we're calling them, and then raced to the Ford F-150 and rode it down to the house. And
why didn't he have like a pocket full of M80s on him at all times? I mean, apparently they're distracted by fireworks. That's all you need to do is light one and toss it, and they go run.
Toss a fucking string of black cats, and
yeah. There's so many things. This movie is just stupid.
Maybe they ran out of black cats.
I don't think that's possible. I think black cats like spawn new black cats.
Again,
maybe they all they had were brown cats.
Look, guys, look. All right, they're the Chinese. They kind of scaled back their firework production at the same time these things got loose from Wuhan. Okay.
Are you saying they're related?
I'm not saying they're related. I'm just saying take those facts for what they
just
are.
Just because the Chinese discovered gunpowder doesn't mean other people can't make it.
All right. James, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
This movie, A Quiet Place, that is all about aliens who hear shit. Is it more sci-fi than 11/22/63?
So this movie has aliens, but that's not. I'm just totally forget about the stupid aliens with the dumb plot device problems. These genetic mutations from a planet or from a lab in Wuhan. Okay, just forget about those for just a second. I want you to focus on that there were legitimately at one point in this movie 3 adolescents that had somehow survived not making a noise for a minimum of 90 days. And then 2 of them survived for another 300 and some days. I mean, in 11/22/63, there was a fucking closet. So yes, A Quiet Place, more sci-fi than 11/22/63.
Perfect. All right, Rob, you got a haiku for us this week?
I do. This one is titled Shh.
Did my internet drop?
You're dead.
That's not a haiku. That's performance art.
No, it was a haiku. I was signing the whole time.
Oh my God.
Hey, guess what? I'm signing right now. Can you guess which 2 fingers I'm holding up?
Your thumbs. 2 thumbs up for my haiku, right?
Incorrect.
Man. And I am so glad you're the first one that said something. I was hoping you would die first.
I thought to myself, if I've got to be podcasting with Rob, I'd rather just fucking die. So let's get this over with. Let me say something.
Perfect.
Because this haiku is stupid. Much like Rob.
Well.
All right, who's got awards?
We'll see what the listeners think.
Yeah, I got awards.
All right, Rob, who's got your black lung?
Doc Cottle, because nobody was smoking nobody was smoking.
Okay, James?
Yeah, Doc Cottle, nobody was smoking.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same. You could say the barn, or the house, because they tried to burn the house down, but I'm going to go with Doc Cottle. All right, James, who's got your head lush?
My head lush goes to Richard Dawson. Is that who it is?
Yeah, that's the honorary.
Yeah, because I don't remember seeing anybody drink in this fucking movie.
Okay, Rob?
Same.
So mine's actually going to go to Daddy Abbott because while he wasn't actually drinking, he was kind of symbolically drinking in front of the signal fire on top of his grain silo.
Yeah, why didn't they just make some like horn hooch or something?
I don't know.
They
Maybe
wanted it for food.
Yeah.
They had lots of food.
They had plenty of fucking corn.
Like when you get drunk, Rob, I don't know if you know this, but when you get drunk, you get loud.
Call the population.
All right, Rob, who's got your player?
Oh, I gave it to John for knocking up Blunt.
Okay. James?
In real life.
I'm going to give it to Blunt for having John knock her up.
Perfect.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to give mine to Mommy Abbott for seducing Daddy Abbott and giving her a new baby after her other child got eaten.
Trust me, if you're the guy in that relationship, end of the world, you can't make a sound, you make a sound, people die. And she's like, please put it inside me. I'm like, I think I'm going to pull out because babies are just little noise machines. I don't know if you know this. Do you remember we had 3, now we got 2. Do you remember why we only have 2 now? I really don't want another one. That's a lot of bullshit. But she was like, no, I like it when you do it. He was like, oh yeah, you do, baby. Yeah, you do. And then afterwards, he's like, oh fuck, please don't be pregnant. Please don't be pregnant. Please don't be pregnant. She's like, I'm pregnant. And he's like, God damn it.
You thought about this a lot more than I did, or really expected anybody to.
Yeah. Well, what he's not saying is, initially John was hoping that the kid would live long enough that he could strap C4 to it and use it as a diversion.
Well, what I imagine is him sitting there enacting that role or enacting that scene with dolls on the other side of that mic, much like Spaceballs.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
yes,
I gotcha.
That's exactly what I have, an Emily Blunt doll and a John Krasinski doll, and that's exactly what I was doing, Jason.
Yeah,
thank you for letting the whole world know.
That's what I figured. All right.
Yeah, made sense.
James, who's got your purple hippo?
Who's your player?
I just said.
He said it. Jesus.
Oh yeah,
Rob.
that's right. I'm sorry. I got sidetracked by the doll playing.
Not the first time you said that today, huh?
Yeah. No, not at all.
James, purple hippo.
My purple hippo goes to the scientist in the lab at Wuhan that probably released these fucking eyeless killing machines with their super hearing onto the world.
Rob?
I'm giving it to the aliens for getting ear fucked.
Okay.
By the way, this episode will not air in China.
I don't know. I don't care. Yeah, so mine's going to go to daughter Abbott for getting the feedback noise through her cochlear implant. And so I'm kind of curious how the whole cochlear implant causes feedback thing, but I'm not going to go into that.
Don't think about it.
Yeah.
The whole thing starts to fall apart.
I know.
Okay. Just look, when that starts to happen, Jason, just think of babies in a pile. C4.
Boom.
Jesus Christ. Oh, we've gone.
It's a brilliant plan. I will have saved humanity when these things from Wuhan come to fruition.
Wait, so if they came from Wuhan, how did they get across the water?
They swim. Did you not see that fucking thing go in the water?
Oh, that's true. It did. It did swim
tell
a la
me they're
alien.
not fucking genetically altered to fucking
wasn't
be the
swimming.
ultimate
It was on the
killing
bottom
machine.
of the fucking floor.
How do you know?
You didn't. They didn't show.
It swam.
The fucking water was only knee deep.
So if it was at the bottom of the floor, then how did it get across the ocean? Did it walk on the bottom of the ocean? Holy shit!
You know that there are giant like freighter ships, like cargo ships that cross the ocean in containers, and one actually got stuck in the Suez Canal.
We would have shut down the ports once everybody started dying over there.
No, we can't do that. It's xenophobic.
Sorry,
All right.
my bad.
All right, so next week we will be discussing the sequel to A Quiet Place, amply called the A Quiet Place Part 2. Where
Is Electric Boogaloo?
It is, oddly enough. Wow,
Perfect.
Thanks, Rob.
It is the subtitle or the subtitle. We need more babies.
Yes,
And
A Quiet
C4.
Place Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. We need more babies in C4.
All right, perfect.
Yeah. Following the events at home, the Abbott family now face the terrors of the outside world. Forced to venture into the unknown, they realize the creatures that hunt by sound are not the only threats lurking beyond the sand path.
Oh, God.
Wait
Humans
a minute.
are bad.
Why did they leave?
Humans
Shoot
are bad.
those two, and
No.
the area is clear.
Humans are bad. Well, that's what it is. Like, look, I told you humans are bad when I said it came from Wuhan.
Wait,
That's really all you need to know.
what if this isn't actually Earth? What if we're on an alien planet and the humans were the invaders, and the aliens are just trying to protect themselves.
Yeah.
So we came from Wuhan?
And this alien planet has a place called New York as well. It all makes sense. This movie stars Emily Blunt, Millicent Simmons, Cillian Murphy, and some other people. It was also directed and written by John Krasinski. So that's what we're going to do next week.
I kind of feel bad for shitting on a John Krasinski movie.
It's not a bad movie. I mean,
No,
it's
it's
definitely worth watching.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I liked the end of it. I just wish I would have seen her shoot the other fucking two.
I know.
That's all I really wanted. When she did that, she kind of smiled. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah.
Dude, it was
And then it
Edge of
ended.
Tomorrow all over again.
Yeah, she tapped into Edge of Tomorrow.
I was not happy. Not happy.
All right, well, that's all we've got for this week. Our intro and outro music is Welcome Home by Cambo. Podcrawl music is Snack Mix by Machette. If you like the show, please rate and review us on iTunes. You can leave us feedback on our Discord channel at smokinganddrinkinginspace.com/Discord.
So there's
on Twitter at
Aquifer Wells.
status_podcast or email us at smokinganddrinkinginspace.com.
that,
If you'd like to throw a few nickels our way, you can become a Patreon supporter by going to smokinganddrinkinginspace.com/Patreon. And make sure to visit
Sperm
Creative
whale.
Brain. And make sure to visit Creative
There it
Brain Candy
is.
for more great shows and
You
other
got
creative
it with
works
sperm.
at creativebraincandy.com.
Not the first time you've heard that today either, Rob, huh?
Oh,
This
man,
week, I'm Jason.
I got sperm all over Jan this morning.
Oh, God.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, we'll talk to you next week. But first, he's the old hermit who's had enough of his wife. God damn, I cannot fucking talk today. What the hell's going on?
This is going to take forever.
Would you shut the fuck up? God damn. This is why I don't feel bad that we give you so much shit.
This is the only reason why I give you shit.
No. You were doing this shit
now.
long before I just fucking decided to fuck it and start giving you shit. So I don't want to hear it.